And let's just get into it. So the Carolina Panthers eked out a 16-10 win over the Houston Texans, a game they were not favored to win. They did it behind the strength of the defense. 6 sacks from the defensive line today. 1 sack fumble, a big one by Vernon Butler and Eric Reed. Despite 3 lost sack fumbles by
on the road
by Mr. NASCAR himself, Kyle Allen, but somehow he pulled out the win. So, your thoughts? Who wants to go first?
First thought: offense sells tickets, defense wins championships.
Absolutely.
That is what I got today. Leading up into this week, a lot of people was asking me what I thought about the game, and I said Carolina will either win in a close one or they will get blown out in the loss. And that's exactly what we saw today. And one of the biggest things I took away from this game was that Kyle Allen essentially won this game the exact same way Cam Newton has been winning for the last 8 years in Carolina. And watching some of the comment threads, watching some of the game threads on all of the sites, it's just interesting watching the commentary go from Cam Newton has been very ineffective and he sits in the pocket too long to now all of a sudden we have a bad offensive line. And that is just really baffling me right now, So all in all, after 4 games, I had this team at 2-2. So I know we were supposed to beat Tampa Bay. I don't think I had us beating Houston today. I think I had us losing, winning, and then losing today. But we're 2-2. We're trending in the right direction. So all in all, hey, I'm happy. I'm happy.
This looked like the 2008-ish Carolina Panthers winning ugly on the road, gutting wins out. It was not pretty at all, but a W is a W. This Kyle Allen losing fumbles cannot be a thing going forward. It absolutely cannot be a thing going forward. We mentioned this off camera. Kyle Allen needs to take his defense to like the most expensive steakhouse and buy them all dinner today. You get what I'm saying? I love what I saw from Shaq Thompson today. Shaq Thompson was all over the place. It is worth noting we were without Dante Jackson. We were without Trey Turner. I can't even remember all the people who are out today. There were a lot of K1 Shorts out, and there were a lot of injuries that were on the field today. This is a big-time, gutsy win. I actually love wins like that. I like the ugly wins. You get what I'm saying?
Shows what your team is made of.
It shows some big-time character, man. And Kyle Allen, the turnovers, we don't want them to be a problem. But we also got to give him props for gut not to win as well. Especially that last play where J.J. Watt had him. He had him done. I mean, he had him right where he wanted him. And he pulled out this amazing throw that kind of iced the game, man. So, even though we're hard on him about the turnovers, which we should be, we also need to give him props too.
4 lost fumbles in 2 games. That's
not a good average.
That's a bad precedent.
That's not a good average, man.
Hopefully he tightens that up. Hopefully he gets his pocket presence, his awareness up, and he'll be better going forward. Speaking to the defense, with all of those injuries that we had today going into the game, for them to walk into Houston and hold Houston to less than 300 yards overall, that's saying a whole lot. Yeah. That's saying a lot about the defense right
now. They've played 2 mobile quarterbacks, in back-to-back weeks. Right. And what they've done, last week, Kyler Murray set the NFL record for the least amount of yards for a quarterback with 30 pass 30 pass completions or more. And we saw that same thing this week. A dynamic mobile quarterback like Deshaun Watson. They weren't giving him much. He had to take the little 3-4 yard. Yeah. They had 2 big plays, but it ended up being the bend not don't break philosophy seems to be working this season.
And you know what's funny, man? I've always hated this bend but don't break. I've never liked it. Yeah. I've never ever liked it because there were some teams where I thought, all right, man, we can be a little more aggressive. You get what I'm saying? But I think the game plan was perfect today. I have to say that, man. That defensive line neutralized Deshaun Watson. You notice on a couple of those plays where Deshaun Watson didn't really have anywhere to go. That defensive line was kind of like spying him. It wasn't a lot of just baseless rushing, if that makes any sense. Right. You saw There was a couple of plays with Burns and even Vernon Butler on one play. We're just kind of sitting, waiting to see where he was going to go to kind of neutralize Deshaun Watson taking off and getting big gains, man. I love the game plan today.
Yeah, so big ups to the defense. Whatever it is that they do to reward players during the week, I definitely believe that the defense is owed today, especially the secondary, because Eric Reed went down, right, for one play. Colin Jones came in.
And I was really scared. I was pretty scared.
That takes me to my player of the game.
Okay.
Russ Cockrell.
Yeah,
he played really well.
Dig it, man.
And he's certainly outplaying, Captain Munderland last season. So, who are your guys' players of the game?
I'm going to go to the defense and hold. The entire defense played well all day. Anybody, if I wanted to go specifically with a player, it would have to be Shaq Thompson.
Yeah, same.
It would have to be Shaq Thompson. And he didn't do anything special, but he was just all over the field.
Place, man.
He was literally all over the field.
Yeah, I'm going to go
kind of like
man.
that guy we
let
let
go.
Yeah,
it was something.
Yeah,
pretty famous.
Well, and to speak to that, a lot of the fan base has been speaking on Shaq Thompson, that he has grown and he has matured this year and he's taken the next step forward in his progression. And he's looking. No, he's not. He hasn't progressed. He hasn't grown. He hasn't matured. This is how he has played the 2 seasons that he's been here, but you didn't see it because you wanted Davis on the field so much. Right. And I don't want to say blind hate or loyalty or your fandom or whatnot, but most of the fan base wanted to see Davis on the field no matter what. And as a result, they overlook what Shaq Thompson did.
Right.
And if you go look at those first 4 games from last season when Shaq Thompson played in place of Davis because he was out with a suspension, he is doing nothing this year that should be surprising you.
Right.
So
I'm going to go Shaq Thompson as well. And Russ Cockrell is obviously unsung hero. I thought he made some incredible breaks on the ball today. Right. He played like a DB that we've been missing for a long time. Like with the whole bend but don't break philosophy, we know as Panthers fans, our DBs love to back up, wait till they gain 7 yards, and then tackle them.
Right.
Russ Cockrell wasn't having it today, and I love to see it, man. I will say another unsung hero today is actually Brian Burns. He hit the quarterback 3 times a day.
Yeah.
And I don't, stuff that's not going to really show up on the stats like that, but he was all over the place too, man.
And getting back to Cockrell, I want to go back to that interception that he had on the Houston trick play. The average fan is going to look at that and they're going to say, "Oh man, Hopkins threw an interception." But if you go back and if you go look at the film, Cockrell had the receiver who was going across the field, and he could have very easily followed him across the field.
Right.
But he stayed disciplined and stayed true to his coverage and stayed over in that 1/3 of the field. And if he doesn't do that, we end up we give up a touchdown.
Can I be Captain Obvious for a second? I think we have a hell of a secondary, guys.
We were saying, watching the game,
I think we have a pretty damn good secondary, guys.
Our secondary is why we're getting so many sacks.
Yeah.
We had 5 today.
No, 6.
I'm sorry. We had 6 today. 5 of those were cover sacks.
Yeah.
Look how long last week. Kyler Murray's holding the ball too long. Right. Well, then look what's happening this week with Deshaun Watson.
It's a pattern.
It is a pattern.
Yeah,
and this might be the best defense or secondary that we've seen.
So 14 sacks in 2 weeks after coming into week 3 with only 4 total.
I'll take that any day, man.
So real quick, Brian Burns doing things that don't show up on the stat sheet. Brian Burns coming into this game was 4th in the league in pass rush win rate. That's pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right there. On the flip side, our offensive line is dead last in pass block.
Wait, but hold on. How could that be true? How could that be true? Well, they were so great when Cam was playing. That can't be true.
Oh,
yeah. Colin Cowherd said that Cam has had
Colin Cowherd
Pro Bowl offensive lineman. No more excuses. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what he was thinking.
He must be playing the video game.
Yeah, something.
It's Trey Turner. Who else?
I don't know.